Coming up on today's show.
Thousands took to Manchester on Sunday to protest against Brexit.
We will hear from Andy Burnham on how he wants to change politics.
And we visit Manchester Food and Drink Festival.
Good afternoon and welcome to Quays News.
Welcome back to our first show of the year.
And hello to any new viewers watching this afternoon. This afternoon at the Tory conference happening in Manchester, Theresa May was giving a speech when she was interrupted by a comedian named Lee Nelson.
It came as a surprise as he jumped out of the crowd and presented her with a P45.
Theresa accepted the piece of paper before putting it on the floor. This is what happened.
While our opponents flirt with a foreign policy of neutrality and prepare for a run on the ground. Some people say we've spent too much time talking about Jeremy Corbyn's past. You may not have heard me say that.
Thousands of passengers have been left stranded abroad after UK-based Monarch Airlines went into administration on Monday.
The airline, which employed more than 2,500 people, has grounded all flights across Europe.
Manchester Airport is one of the biggest airline hubs, and it is thought the collapse will have affected more than 300 local jobs.
We will be following the events throughout the week online at quaysnews.net. The Conservative Party were in Manchester on Sunday as they held a conference at Manchester's Convention Centre.
The conference was headed by Theresa May, who promised to push ahead with Brexit despite protests outside.
It was estimated that over 25,000 people took part in protests with no injury.
Among the protesters, leader of Liberal Democrats Vince Cable was there. Our reporter Ellis Hyde sent this report.
This Sunday not only saw the beginning of the Conservative Party conference here in Manchester, but also an estimated 30,000 people marching on the streets as part of the Stop Brexit campaign.
I can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
Before the march set off, we decided to speak to some of the participants to get their reasons on why they were there that day.
I think I got past the point of worrying about whether we're going to stop Brexit or not. I just need to protest. I just need to be able to tell my kids and grandkids that I tried.
I think people need to come together and look at the realities of Brexit.
I really don't want my child to grow up in a world where people make decisions for us, but it's not in our name, kind of thing.
Later on, we spoke to Lib Dem leader Sir Vince Cable on Brexit strategies and his opinion on Brexit so far.
When it becomes clear that the costs of leaving the extreme Brexit that Theresa May is pursuing with Jeremy Corbyn are going to do enormous damage to our economic base, to research fundamental to Manchester, I think people will rethink it. And the thing that we're pushing for at the moment, I hope Theresa May is listening to this, to respect and protect the position of the 3 million Europeans living in Britain, 130,000 of them in Greater Manchester.
Outside the Conservative Party conference, we spoke to some of the party members on Mr Cable's suggestions, as well as the day's events.
He's Lib Dem and he's leader and he's trying to grab a few headlines. He's probably doing quite a nice job to get the headlines, but well, he's in touch with reality. It's a different ballgame.
I campaigned for Remain, I voted for Remain, but I accept that we voted for Brexit. We need to respect the will of the people and leave the European Union.
The rhetoric today here was simple. We think, we believe and we dream. Nothing here actually seemed concrete, neither by the public nor the politicians representing you people. However, it is simple. People want to be on the right side of history and leave a legacy for their children. Many people today will be living in hope rather than expectation for anything. For Salford Quays News, I'm Ellis Hyde.
Newly elected Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, has been visiting students at Trafford College.
Burnham was there to encourage younger people to get into politics, and our reporter Dan Doyle was there and asked him about his new youth forum.
So why did the Greater Manchester Combined Authority launch this programme?
Well, today we agreed to set up a youth combined authority in Greater Manchester because we want the voice of young people to shape devolution here. We've just had, for the first time ever, power given to us from Westminster. So we need to ensure that young people have a role in that and are able to shape the policies that come from it, be it on homelessness or housing or on bus travel or on apprenticeships. Whatever the policy is, it's critical that the voice of young people is involved in shaping that.
And how much power is this going to give to young people?
Well, in some ways, what I said to the young people who gathered here today at Trafford College, it's basically what you make of it. You know, I can't, as mayor, make the Youth Combined Authority find its voice or have an impact, but the power will certainly be there if it chooses to. I want them to do a real job of work. I want them to have a big influence on writing the policy when it comes to more support for young people, but also the ability to challenge policy in other areas across Greater Manchester. So, yeah, this isn't a tokenistic thing by any means. I said when I stood for election, I wanted to put young people at the heart of what I do, and I mean what I say.
Why is Stretford Council and the GMCA set of needs purely focused on young people rather than the local residents?
Well, young people, I think, have been neglected in recent times by politicians, possibly because people assume that it's older people who go out to vote, therefore focus on older people and actually pay for the things that you're promising to older people by cutting support and services off young people. I think we've seen that in politics over a number of years, and that's no way, in my view, to build a healthy society by taking hope off the next generation. So, you know, my answer to the question is you've got to start with young people. If we're going to rise as a country to the challenge of Brexit, we've got to start doing more to help young people get the skills and the qualifications they will need to make a success of themselves in the future workplace. So it's not about by helping young people. I would argue you are helping everybody, because young people need the skills to build the future prosperity of Greater Manchester and the country.
You said this is only going up to 18 and above. Is this going to be allowed to go up to like people in their early 20s? Are they even going to be considered in this process?
Yeah, they could be, and we've certainly heard that call today from some of the students here. So, yeah, we'll take that back. We want this to be a voice for all young people, and as we know, sometimes it's not hard and fast cut off at 18. We continue to need to represent people who are in their early 20s. So we'll take that on board. And you're right, it's not about either or, is it? Pitching young people against the community or older people. The project you mentioned in Stretford, it's out for consultation, or it will be very shortly. Concerns have been expressed of the kind that you say, but it's about kind of seeing if we can make something work for everybody, isn't it? And if we have a vibrant new university in Stretford, you could argue that will bring regeneration that will benefit everybody, new facilities that will be good for the whole community.
For any dancers out there, a theatre company has come to the Lowry to start their UK tour of ballet dancing.
The London-based dancers took some time out of their rehearsals to speak exclusively to Quays News.
Laura Joff caught up with the crew.
Luc, you are performing in Ghost Dances, choreographed by Christopher Bruce. Can you tell us about the piece?
There's the three ghost dancers, and they kind of represent sort of the Day of the Dead, the dancing dead, and they come to take people away.
Brenda, you are performing in Symbiosis, which is a brand new work that is going to be shown for the first time on Thursday. Can you tell us a bit more about the piece?
The piece is called Symbiosis, and that is the interaction between different organisms, which means it kind of represents us as dancers dancing in close proximity to each other. It's high energy. The choreographer is Greek, so you've got that kind of Mediterranean aspect to it.
This year you were nominated for an Olivier Award.
Yes.
So how did that feel? It's quite a big deal, isn't it?
It's a really strange thing, because, as you know, you don't dance for awards. You do it because you love it and that you have passion in what you do. So it's a real honour to be recognised for something that you really, really love doing.
Have you already performed here at the Lowry?
Yes, so this is my third time here. I love the backstage because there's plenty of space on the sides of the wings, and that's really good for us dancers while we're waiting for our entrance to do our warm-ups. Changing rooms are great, very spacious, and I love the purple kind of violet feel of the auditorium. It's very different.
The stage is amazing. It's one of the largest stages we perform on in our UK touring. So that really, it really makes a difference when you have space to kind of just really do what you want to do and really go to the maximum of your potential. So that really helps.
So it's been a busy week for sport. Lars Magnus has more.
Thank you, Nicola and Cass. FC United of Manchester are through to the next round of the FA Cup after defeating Stockport County in dramatic fashion. On Saturday, FC United of Manchester went 3-0 down against County, but made a terrific comeback to seal a 3-3 draw and a replay. In the replay yesterday, FC United of Manchester got 2 red cards, but still managed to pull off a famous 1-0 win with 9 men. The victory saw them go through to the next round of the Emirates FA Cup. After having a break this weekend, Salford City will play Leamington on Saturday. Salford has started the season quite strongly, finding themselves second in the Vanarama National League, and will be seen as favourites going into the game against 19th placed Leamington. Salford City is also kicking off the Manchester Premier Cup run by welcoming local rivals Urham on the following Tuesday. Former Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand confirmed last month that he wants to become a professional boxer. However, in an interview with BBC Breakfast here at Media City UK, Ferdinand said, "I want to see if I can get a license and become a professional and have one fight. I'm not looking to have a career here, I'm looking to have a professional fight and I will see where I go then." Could Old Trafford become the 3rd largest stadium in Europe? Well, according to Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail, Manchester United officials are looking at plans to expand the stadium capacity to 88,000 by adding an extra tire to the Sir Bobby Charlton stand. Currently, the Old Trafford capacity is 75,643, but with the possible extension, Old Trafford will overtake stadiums as the San Siro and Santiago Bernabéu in terms of capacity. That's all from this week. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Lars. Now it's looking rather bleak outside. Owen has more.
Today will be very windy, with winds expected to reach highs of 60 miles per hour. Heavy showers also possible throughout the afternoon and evening. On to the night, winds are expected to rise again to 44 miles per hour. However, this will hopefully clear things up for tomorrow. On to Thursday, it seems like another chilly one across Greater Manchester, with again the possibility of the odd shower. On to Friday and into the weekend, unfortunately it doesn't seem to be much more pleasant, so if you're expecting to go to the Food and Drink Festival in Manchester, make sure you bring a brolly.
A new bar has opened in Manchester.
The bar lets customers practice their baseball skills while at the bar.
The bar opened on Friday and keys were allowed to look around. And Manchester's Food and Drink Festival arrived in Manchester this weekend. Our reporter Henry Martindale went to sample some of the food on offer.
Despite the wet and windy weather, hundreds of Mancunians made their way to Albert Square for the annual Manchester Food and Drinks Festival. With a wide variety of delicacies from tofu hot dogs to beef burritos, there was something for everyone. And the live music made sure that everybody was having a good time.
No, it's really good. It's a good vibe. Lots of good local businesses, a good way for them to promote their own food. But yeah, it's good.
With it being the festival's 20th anniversary, it was bigger and better than ever, and a huge opportunity for young entrepreneurs and chefs to really display their talents.
Usually it's very, very good. Weather this year has been a bit rubbish, so it's a bit quieter, but usually you get a lot of people coming in from out of town. It's a chance to show them some of the food we do. Sometimes we can try some different food that may or may not go on the menu, and it's a good advert basically, because we can direct people to our restaurant there or one down the road. Drum up some business.
The Manchester Food and Drinks Festival is running till the 9th of October, so you've still got time to come down and check it out. After all this tough journalistic work, I believe I've earned myself a snack. So from me, Henry Martindale, for Quays News, it's back to the studio.
All right, food festival. Are you going this weekend, actually?
Probably not, but it does look good. It's at Albert Square, isn't it?
Yeah, it runs until Monday, so I think I'm going to have a look there.
Yeah, you should. It looks really good, the food
definitely.
there. And that's it for this Quays News, but next up is our film review show, Real Talk, so make sure you stay tuned and catch that.
Don't forget, you can follow us and find out more about all of our other programs online at quaysnews.net, on Facebook and also on Twitter. But for now, thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.